Hey beautiful people, it's Rickita and I'm back with another video. So in this video, I want to answer some questions that I actually got from you guys. Now, I got a lot of good questions. If you guys ever have any additional questions, please let me know and I'll make sure when I do another video like this, I go ahead and answer them for you. I also have a lot of previous videos that I made you guys that you might be able to just search. So try to see if you can search it and see if I have an answer already for the question that you have. And if I have an answer already, check that out. That way you can see right away what you have to do. But I feel as if the more videos that I put out like this, the more you guys are going to just simply learn and you guys are going to just simply catch on. But for the people that's actually watching these videos and learning all that you can, you guys are soaking up so much information because that's exactly what I used to do. I literally, while I'm cleaning up, like you can see right now, I'm redoing my office. um I listen to this stuff, you guys. This is what I listen to. I need to know like the latest stuff of what's going on. So the point that you're listening to this is actually going to grow you as a person. Just make sure that you're passing it down. If you have kids, pass it on to your kids, pass it on to your grandchildren, because this is the information that they need to know. Like it took me a long time to learn this information, and I'm still implementing a lot of stuff that I'm talking to you guys about. So make sure you guys are passing it down. If you guys haven't already, I have my next meetup that's actually starting next month. So definitely sign up for my next meetup. A lot of people have gotten their credit scores over that 60 points before that 60-day mark. So definitely, guys, check out my 60 points in 60 days. This is the one where I'm actually going to hold your hand when I'm saying, hey, I start next month. This is one where I actually hold your hand and I go through the process with you during that 60 days. So I'm saying, hey, it's time to do this. It's time to do that. Make sure you're doing this. Make sure you're doing that. I'm going through it step by step with you guys. I have my free live videos you guys can watch. It's like an hour long. They tell you everything you have to do. Whenever you click that link down below for the 60 points in 60 days, as soon as you click that link, I automatically send you a dispute letter to remove accounts from your credit report. And I'll also send you a letter to remove your inquiries. And also I send you a letter for your collection. So please definitely check that out, you guys, because when you guys check that out, you're going to be able to have the things that you need to actually implement getting that 60 points in 60 days. So definitely check that out. Let's go through these questions because it's a lot of them. I just want to make sure I can answer them all. If for some reason I didn't answer your question correctly, please just re-ask the question and then try to rephrase it if for some reason I didn't answer it correctly. So here's the first question. Which of these credit cards offer auto pay? Every credit card should offer you guys auto pay, and that's the best thing that you guys can do. That was one of my biggest problems, just making sure that I was paying on time. So set up auto pay for all of your credit cards. Even if you guys have like secure credit cards, even that kickoff account offer auto pay. Like literally every account should offer some type of auto pay, even if they have to do like a check. And you can set up bill pay also through your bank if for some reason they don't have some type of auto pay. Bill pay is where you say, hey, make sure you pay them this amount every month on this day, and try to push that like a week and a half ahead of time to make sure that they're getting that money on time. But that every account should have some type of auto pay. And like I said too, you guys, if you, for some reason you're trying to set up that auto pay, like with Wells Fargo, they have it where you guys can do like the bill pay. It was things that I had to make sure I pay, like I had like some garden lighting fees. I knew I had to pay her, like say if I knew I had to pay her $1,500. I just set it up like every month, give her $100 on this day, and they sent the check out for her, and they just took the money out of my account. That's kind of like an auto pay kind of thing. You can do that same thing with your bank accounts too. So go ahead, and that's your bank account with your credit cards and your bank accounts too, though. But you can do that same thing with your credit cards. So figure out what your minimum payment is, and you can just set up an auto pay for that minimum payment. What I like to do is, no matter what, I like to pay my statement balance by my due date. That's like my thing to make sure I don't have to pay any interest. And once you guys set up your statement balance paid by the due date, if you guys have anything more that you may have to pay to bring down your utilization, then you guys just make sure you pay that before they report to the credit bureaus, which is, I'll say, about 3 days. I always keep my mind that, hey, I got to make sure I have this thing paid in 2 days, maybe 1 day after my due date, just to make sure that they're not reporting this balance to the credit bureaus, because I'm going to drop my credit score. So set up the auto pay through your bank if for some reason that credit card company don't have any type of auto pay. Also, here's something too. It's kind of what I was just talking about. I don't know what people are talking about when they saying pay your total balance by your closing date and not by your due date to boost your credit score. My biggest thing is I don't want to pay any interest to the credit bureau. So what I like to do is I like to pay my statement balance by the due date. You can pay the rest of your balance by the closing date, but don't not pay your statement balance by your due date, because you're only paying probably what, a day or two later. And what's going to happen is if you're just paying your total balance by your closing date, then you're going to find that you're paying interest every month when you could have just pushed your payment forward a few days and paid by your due date, and you could have got the boost to your credit score, plus you could have not paid any interest. Like, that's all I tell people: to pay your statement balance by your due date. If you have anything left over, pay that in a day or two, to make sure that you guys will have a low balance reported to the credit bureaus. And you don't even have to have your account fully paid off to see an increase in your credit score. You just have to make sure that you have a low utilization on that credit card and have that being reported, a lower balance. So do not mess up, you guys, and just think, oh, let me just go ahead and pay my balance by the closing date. Because if you guys do that, like I said, you guys are going to be paying interest, and that's something I don't want you guys to do. And I didn't even know anything at first. I didn't even know anything about you need to pay your statement balance by your due date, and then you can avoid interest. Like, I remember I used to pay like $30 a month, $40 a month, $50 a month for interest. And then I realized, like, that amount of money could have went towards something else. All I got to do is just make sure I pay my statement balance by my due date, and they won't charge me. As long as you do that, you're going to be good. And if you got anything left over to say, if your statement balance is basically what your balance was on your closing last month, on your closing date for last month. That's what they're saying your statement balance for your this month is. So I always tell people, just pay that statement balance. Once you pay your statement balance, then whatever you have left over, statement balance could be, say you got $2,000 credit card, $600 statement balance. I'll pay that $600 by the due date. If I have anything left over, say if my total balance was $1,400, that means I still have what, $800 that I still have to pay, because that would be like my total balance. 600 plus 800 will make the $1,400, which is my total balance. So I paid the $600, which is my statement balance. I will pay most of that $800, at least, like, if I don't pay it on my due date, I'll pay it a day or two later, just to make sure that when they report to the credit bureaus, they'll report what, $100 or with a $2,000 credit card. I always tell people, you want to pay, you only want 5% of that balance, that credit limit reporting. So $2,000, 5% of that is $100. So I would pay everything but $100 if I needed to. I would pay the whole thing if I had it like that. But I pay everything but that $100 just to make sure that they report to the credit bureaus. And if for some reason you guys just don't have the money like that, and you're like, Rickita, that sounds ideal, I tell people, if you want to just have a better credit score, just pay whatever you can pay. And then if you got to max out your credit card and use up your credit card again, after they report to the credit bureaus, after Credit Karma say, hey, we see your reporting, then you can go ahead. Or they say, hey, your statement is out. The bank say, hey, here's your new statement. If you need to max out that credit card and start the process all over again, then you can go ahead and do that. But don't let them report a balance to the credit bureau for your credit score. I said, don't let them report a balance to the credit bureaus, and just make sure you pay your statement balance by your due date so you don't be charged any interest. So if you do those things, you'll be good. But hopefully that helped you, and hopefully I explained that well. Sometimes I get to explain it and then I'll be like, oh, what did I just say? My mind goes all over the place. Think about all the different things I have to do, but hopefully that helps. So pay your statement balance by the due date, and pay your total balance down at least a day or two after your due date. You have to pay it. Then try to pay it early, because some of the companies that say, hey, we're not going to report your balance until if you're after a certain time, all that crazy stuff. So just make sure you pay it early in the day. And if you can just pay it all by your due date, do that. And if you have to use it again after your statement is reported, your balance is, new balance is reported, then do that. But at least you're going to have a great credit score. like credit score be lit, and you're not getting charged any interest. How do secure credit cards work? Do you need to have a checking account? So with secure credit cards, you do not need to have a bank account wherever you're going to get secure credit cards at. Some credit cards require that you have a bank account with them. Like say if you go into a bank like maybe Federal, you have to have a savings account. Um, or a checking account. But if you guys are doing like secure credit cards, like the credit builder card I'll tell you guys about, the First Premier, Open Sky, you're not going to have a bank account with either of these companies. So what you have to do is you just have to put a deposit down on secure credit cards. That's how it works. You put a security deposit down, and then you can put your security deposit down sometimes between 200 and it can be all the way up to sometimes like $5,000 you can put down. Some of these credit cards, after you put your deposit down, they send your card in the mail. But some of these cards, after 6 months, 12 months, they're going to graduate where they're going to give you your money back, whatever you put down as your deposit, and then give you a regular credit card. But you just have to use this credit card just like any other credit card. Only difference is you're putting money down on it just so that they can see that you can use the credit card correctly. Well, that's kind of how a secure credit card works. But like I said, too, some of the cards that you may get, like Open Sky, you're not going to have a bank account or a debit card or anything with them. Like you just want to get your card with them, and that's it. But just make sure you're using this just like a credit card. Do not let them report more than 5% to the credit bureaus, or it's going to drop your credit score a lot. Make sure you're paying your statement balance by the due date to make sure that you're not paying them any interest, because these secure credit cards have high interest rates. You can save a lot of money by paying your statement balance by your due date. And just use it like a regular credit card. And like 5% is my rule. Do not let them report more than 5% to the credit bureaus, because that's going to drop your credit score. If you just do that, you'll be good. And then most likely, if that secure credit card graduate, they're going to most likely graduate you to an unsecured credit card and give you a higher limit. So when it comes down to Credit One, I believe you can only have two Credit One bank credit cards, but you will want to double check with Credit One. I also said the same thing about Capital One, but somebody said that they got three Capital One credit cards. So you definitely want to call Credit One and Capital One and ask them, hey, how many credit cards am I able to have with you guys? And then ask them, am I able to have the same exact credit card? Because sometimes, like with Capital One, when I first got with Capital One, they told me I could have two credit cards, but it could not be the same. When I tried to get two platinums, they said no, it can't be two platinums. So then I got the platinum and I got the quicksilver. So double check with these companies, but I believe you cannot have like the same exact cards. Now, I made another video about Credit One. It's like to tell you guys about the different credit cards through Credit One, and I think it's like 5 of their credit cards did not have an annual fee. So I wanted to talk to you guys and tell you guys about the ones that did not have an annual fee, because that's the biggest thing. People say, oh, they charge you too much money, or they have annual fees. So when you guys call Credit One, ask them, can I get the same card, or do I have to have a different card? And when they say you have to have a different card, go in and see the cards that have no annual fees and try to get those. To me, they don't really have like rewards that you want to fight over. Like I want they just don't have that. They don't have any type of huge and amazing reward. So try to see like which ones don't have an annual fee and try to get those. And when it come down to Capital One, and Credit One too, because Credit One can pre-qualify you. Try to see which ones they can pre-qualify you for too, because sometimes you may say, hey, I want to have this credit card, and they may say, no, you can't get that one. So try to see which ones they can actually give you, and try to get ones with no annual fee if you can help. But I believe you only can have two, but it's not the same ones. Thank you for saying. Now that you sent a type or handwritten dispute to creditors and credit. When it comes down to sending letters to the credit bureaus, I send all of my letters typed. I tried the handwriting thing before, but it seems as if their system has caught on to that. So it's not like you get any type of special, deletions from writing your letters anymore. I send it typed. And if you can, make sure you send your letters certified. It's no more about just trying to have Oscar. That's the system, the scanning system, delete the account from your credit report. Now it's to the point where you're trying to catch them up and lie, you guys, and trying to find FCRA violations against the credit bureaus and also the company, and potentially put in a lawsuit to sue them. That's like the game that we have to play with them right now, because their system is getting better, and now it's not just about handwriting a letter. So a typed letter will be fine, but just make sure that you find actual violations on your credit reports, which will show why that account should be removed from your credit reports. Now, if you guys need like a dispute letter, look at my 60 points in 60 days. I have the link in the comments. Go ahead and click there. Whenever you guys sign up for that, it's a free webinar. Whenever you guys sign up for that, I actually give you guys a dispute letter you can send to the credit bureaus, one for inquiries, if you guys have inquiries on your credit reports that you need to remove, and then I also give you a letter for the collection company. So definitely check that out and try to see if those letters can actually work for you. But handwriting it, to me is no different. You can go ahead and like type it, and send it in. Just try to send it in certified and find actual errors, like, is the account number the same on all three credit bureaus? Is the account name the same on all three credit bureaus? The date open the same on all three credit bureaus? Because each credit bureau should be reporting the same thing. But if you guys look, you're going to see that each credit bureau is not reporting the same thing. And that's how you say, hey, you guys need to delete this because this is not 100% accurate. So go ahead and type your letter out. Just find factual errors and you'll be good. I've heard of a lot of people taking these loans where they're saying that you just have to have an active checking account, and then they'll go ahead and loan you small amounts of money. If it's not a lot of money that you have to pay them back in interest, then I say go ahead and do it if you need to go ahead and get the money, because a lot of times this would be a better option than some other people that's going to go to payday loan stores. So if your bank says that they can loan you small amount of money, you just a small amount of money, you just need to have a checking account, and like your account can not be overdraft, then go ahead and do it if that's what you need to do, because that could actually avoid a lot of people from getting like payday loans. People wish that they had these options. Like some of the people that I've seen, they'll wish that they had these type of options. So I think it's all right as long as they're not charging like crazy interest. You should be fine. So if you guys are in another country, like I made a video about Canada. If you guys are in another country, you guys have to use the credit system that is possibly in your country. Now, if you're like this person here, you being in Ghana, you can only, I don't know what the credit system out there is in Ghana. And you're gonna have to figure that out there. Now, if you come here to United States, you can go ahead and get your I-10 number, and once you get that number, then you can use that number as a social security number and then get credit. I don't know if it's another way that you can get an I-10 number while you're still out there. Maybe that's a route you want to look into, figuring out how you get your I-10 number. That's very similar to like our social security number. Once you get one of those numbers, then you can go ahead and start building credit. Some people do like the CPNs. I'm not telling you should do that. I'm just telling you what I heard, like, because I don't believe in that. But you're out in Ghana, so I don't think you're gonna have a social security number here. So maybe you want to look into that. But CPNs here can get people in a lot of trouble. I just don't know how much trouble you want us to get in, but you're going to keep watching these videos. But unless you got an I-10 number or a CPN, you're not going to be able to really get credit out here. Like, that's just being honest. So double check and try to see if there's a way you can get an I-10 number. And I say avoid the CPN, but look into it, because sometimes I hear a lot of people talking about it. I just don't have enough information, and I'm personally scary. Like, I'm not going to do certain things. So I don't know how bad a CPN could possibly be, but I'm just the person to say, hey, I got a social security number. I'm in my early 30s. I just came through the door in 30s, and I want to build up my name so that when I turn 40 and 50, I'm her. Like, my stuff is like in order. But for somebody that, you know, they're not thinking about their future like that, I see people building up their CPNs and stuff like that. I just don't mess around with it, but it can be something you can look into. But that's just my honest truth on that. And when I tell you guys about different things, I'm not like promoting it. I'm just that's why I think my YouTube channel is good, because I get to like run my mouth and say, look, y'all, somebody got approved for this, somebody did. I can like legally do it, like, you know. So I want to always tell you guys like the real of what's going on. So unless you got like a social security number, I-10 number, or CPN, like you're not gonna be able to get credit. Like that's where you need to start figuring out how to get that a number like that. But I believe being in Ghana is going to be very difficult to possibly get an I-10 number. But look into it. And the I-10 is ITIN. That's the number you need, and CPN is CPN. So Google that, watch YouTube videos on that, and hopefully that guides you in the right direction, because I don't think you can get a social security number. So you probably want to go that route. And I'm not promoting it, I'm just saying, okay? I'm not promoting, I'm just saying, okay? I said I don't know how bad it is. I-10 number, I see a lot of people like coming from Mexico, coming from Puerto Rico, they're getting that number. Like, so I don't know if that's the number you can get to. I don't know if you're back and forth. So I'm just gonna mind my business and then drop that on your lap. Just do what you got to do with that information. Hopefully that helps. Excuse me. Oh, here's the next one. If you guys were denied for a credit card and then you tried to do the shopping cart trick for that same credit card, you may be able to get it to work. But the best thing is to try to see if you can get the shopping cart trick to work in general for credit cards, and then try to see if you can get it to work. I have seen a lot of people just can't get credit cards in general, and then they apply for some of the credit cards with the shopping cart trick, and they're able to get those credit cards to work. So I say, hey, if you got denied before for a credit card, if you want to try again using the shopping cart trick, I definitely suggest you go ahead and try it. Because don't forget, when you guys try for a credit card through the shopping cart trick, you guys shouldn't be getting any hard inquiries anyway. So definitely check it out. Try to see if you can get it to work. And if you're able to get it to work, please come back and let other people know about it. If you guys have inquiry disputes and you're trying to remove inquiries from your credit reports, you guys can mail those inquiry letters directly to the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Sometimes you guys are going to have inquiry letters that you want to send directly to the company. And if you want to send it directly to the company, then you definitely can mail it to whatever address that the credit bureaus have listed for that company. You can mail it directly to them. But you guys are going to find that you're going to have a lot of success by mailing it to the credit bureaus. So go ahead and mail it to the credit bureaus. And two, sometimes you just want to call the credit bureaus and see if you can get it deleted by phone too. That's a great option and it's very fast. If you are not able to do that, then go the mailing route. But you should find the address to the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian online. And then also the address to the companies, you can find that actually listed on your credit reports. Hey, can you do a video on the new overstock credit card from Citi? Thank you. So I'm going to do a full video on the Citi credit card with overstock. So if you guys want to see a full review on that credit card, definitely check that out. I'm actually going to make that review after this video, but we still can look at that credit card for overstock right now. So overstock, they have a store credit card already that's with Community Capital Bank, and then also they have a new MasterCard that's with Citi. Now Citi is going to pull your Experian credit report and sometimes your Equifax credit report, and then some cases could pull TransUnion, but most likely it's going to be Experian. So just make sure that you guys have a better credit score. Don't, when you think of Citi, think of them as, okay, I need to have at least like a 660 or 680 credit score and not a lot of negative accounts, or you're not going to be able to get approved. But let's go ahead and just take a quick look at the credit card. So here is the credit card. Here you can actually pre-qualify for this MasterCard, which is really good because I don't really see everybody being able to. Well, I don't really see you being able to pre-qualify for city credit cards. So the point that you can pre-qualify for this MasterCard is really good. So you can click right here to see if you can pre-qualify for it. You guys, these are like the different things you can get back when you're using your MasterCard. Don't forget, MasterCard you can use outside of just using it on overstock.com. So you guys are going to get 5% back on overstock purchases, 3% back on apparel and department stores, 2% back on gas purchases, and 1% back on all your other purchases. Now, with their store card, they got 60 months financing, and you guys are going to get that too. So you guys are going to have the no interest if paid in full. So they have the 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, and 18 months, and then they go even long term. But if you guys go with 36 months, 48 months, or 60 months, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, they are going to charge you 9.99%, and your purchase have to be over $1,300 to start with that one. So here's actual rewards, and again, you can pre-qualify for that card. I'm going to do a full review on this credit card, so if you want to see that full review, definitely check it out. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I like that you can pre-qualify for this card. I know when everybody buy houses, I love to be able to say, hey, you got your house now. Instead of just spending all your money trying to get furniture, get all this, get all that, keep your little nest egg and go ahead and, try to see if you can do like some 0% APR. And I love those options. So this is a great one for people. So thank you for bringing it to my attention. If you want to see the full review, definitely check out my channel, and then you guys will be able to see that full review coming soon.